Now I'm going to introduce an eraser a little bit to kind of like clean up my forms. I'm going to use my white eraser that I like so much. I can also use the eraser as a way to kind of like balance my graphite or draw if I want. Kind of blends a little bit, create a little bit of a texture that could be useful. You could stipple with it. This is called stippling, where you just kind of stab with it a little bit. Becomes a really attractive thing. Sometimes I'll soften inside a shape and then go back into it. Just because I erased in an area doesn't mean I can't tighten it up with a pencil over the top of it. Kind of button it up. Now I'll start thinking about making marks that maybe are circular, you know, kind of fitting into these shapes. You know, a line goes one way or another way, but if you do like a circle or an oval or whatnot, you can kind of like spin out of those forms and make a really nice range of value into that shape. Plus you can stop it on a dime. I'm currently working still with an HB pencil. And now I'm starting to push because I want to actually give you a little bit of step forward of the space around it. I want the object to actually come forward a little bit. And in a way, this is kind of like hatching too. So I'm using the side of the eraser, which is sharp. You know, maybe I'll clean up a little bit of this bottom now before I go back into it, or here. Where these petals kind of curl underneath, they're going to be in shadow. This is just one long continuous stroke. You know, I never stop. Just learn how to make, you know, even pressure if you want. Where it overlaps, it gets darker. Depending on what you've got your paper on, it can pick up some of the texture of your support. I've got it on Masonite. There's not a whole lot of support around it. I mean, it's pretty smooth. Even though I do that, doesn't mean I can't do that to tighten it up. Or that. This shape right here is just a dark patch I found, where it looks like a bunch of petals kind of just popped up a little bit and separated from the other petals. So I'll put them in one at a time. I'll try to count as many of them as I can. Keep the scale right. You know, consider where they're at. You can't make them gigantic if they're on the other side of the flower. Yeah, that's the one thing. If you notice, these are bigger than these. These are bigger than those. Pardon me. So that's kind of how I'd start one. That's about 24, 25 minutes of work to get that going that far. You know, if you want to see the difference in value, here's the stem with that same pencil. I'm gonna grab a fresher pencil. There's one dried up leaf over here. Cuts across the stem. And voila. So that's a pretty good start. Couple things you got to consider. You know, don't just consider the object. Look for the darkest value. I put in last, but I was looking for darker values inside the flower as I set it up. Look for overall shape, look for center, look for shapes that are occurring inside that, and work your way from the inside out. Find your furthest points, you know, use them almost as like landmarks. You know, I buttoned up a top row just so you get a chance to see how I would actually kind of refine an area. And even look at how I started making the marks here to talk about the condition of the flower when it's closed. So that's a pretty good start, and I hope it proves helpful.